The Ubuntu Community Model, this is in nursing, is hosting a gender-based violence awareness campaign at the Mafikeng Provincial Hospital in the Northwest. This is part of activities planned for the upcoming 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. Newzroom Africa's Refiloe Seboko is attending the event for us, and she joins us live now. Refiloe, good morning to you. Let's paint a picture of the gender-based violence and femicide picture in the Northwest Province. How's that looking?
Well, Xoli, I think it's no exception to what the president was talking about when he at some point make mention of how gender-based violence is one pandemic that the country as a whole is faced with, and the Northwest Province also not being excluded from those incidents that are happening in the province. And this is why we are seeing that today this initiative that talks about gender-based violence, that is under the University of Pretoria in collaboration with the Northwest University of Venda and Limpopo, the University of Limpopo, they saw it fit to take it here in the Northwest Province to come and talk about the impact of gender-based violence in our societies. But let me welcome Professor Salaminah from Northwest University. Thank you so much and welcome to Newzroom Africa. During your presentation earlier, we were talking about culture and its influence on gender-based violence. Talk to us more about that.
Thank you so much. Yes, I touched on culture because for my PhD, I did a study on libitala mosadi ke bogadi, and so I thought it is relevant to present it so that people can know. I will be doing a presentation again this evening. You know, we are African people, and we also believe in culture. We have different cultures, and what intrigued me, what made me be interested in libitala mosadi ke bogadi was that, you know, women would get married and still stay in a toxic relationship. And when you ask, you find that a woman says, I cannot leave. I was counseled. Translated means the grave of a woman is at the place of her in-laws. Yes, it has been like that. It is a proverb that has been there since time immemorial. However, you know, our great-parents were using it. But, you know, the way things are happening lately, you know, we ask ourselves, are we still keeping on the principles that they used to do? Because I don't think there were so many killings. Women are being killed. Children are being killed. So during my study, what came out first was patriarchy. What is driving this gender-based violence is patriarchy. What is patriarchy? Patriarchy is feeling supreme, thinking that as men, they are more supreme and powerful, they are masculine than women, so they can be in charge. They can do as they wish. And that is not how it should happen. And again, this patriarchy led to oppression of women. How were women oppressed? In my study, what came out was that women felt oppressed. Some even said, I feel oppressed by this proverb. I know it is an old proverb, but I feel oppressed by it.
I want to ask Professor Salaminah, excuse me, that now, how should different stakeholders come on board, particularly when we're talking about culture, tribal authorities, amongst others, and into solving the current gender-based violence issues that societies are faced with?
Yes, I think we should start at the basics. We should first of all teach young children, not only boys, but boys and girls, about Ubuntu. If they can learn the principles of Ubuntu, firstly, Ubuntu says, "Ke motho ka gore o motho." I'm a human because you are human. And in these principles, central to it is respect. If we can start respecting each other and conducting awareness campaigns like we do, making the community aware that within these relationships, be it in a marriage, be it in a relationship, ordinary relationship, there should be respect. Even though we are African people, we follow our different cultures, but we should respect each other. And the stakeholders should come together. It should not be one person's responsibility. Let's go out there in the community and teach. But again, remember, this is not only being done by people in the community. Even us, people who are learned, we are exposed to this gender-based violence, so we must continue preaching it. We must continue preaching about prevention. Why should people go about, hating other people? Even though we know we follow culture and its principles, we should learn and practice the core principles of Ubuntu, Boto. Bringing people, we should take people to the people and say, let's not forget that we are human beings. And being human, it means we must know that this person feels pain like I feel pain, and respect them. Whether it's a child, whether it's a boy or a girl or a grandmother or an old person, let's respect each other.
In short, just as I'm handing over to the studio, 25 years since the 16 days of activism against women and children, gender-based violence has been initiated. How do we measure that now in 2023 we are winning that battle?
We are not winning the battle. If you can see the statistics, I don't have the statistics at hand. However, I don't think we are winning the battle. And it is like when it is during this period of 16 days of activism, this thing becomes worse. It is for us to go and educate. Let's start with the campaigns. Teach people that let's respect, because central to this is respect. If you can respect yourself, then you will respect others. And we can never hate, even children, we can never hate each other. I think we should come together as stakeholders and say, let us help, let us hold hands and fight against this monster. This is an elephant, it's a monster, but we need to trample on it. As a community, as a people, we need to say no to gender-based violence. We have to be sure that we talk to our family members, because some of this is done by our family members. And you leave your family, you go out to work, you come back, these things, there has been fightings and so on. We have to educate even our people where we are coming from. Let us start there. And our communities, even at the tribal offices, they should know that there should be respect. When you go to the tribal office, we always, expected to, you can't go to Kosi. We have to put on a duke. Okay, yes, it's fine. We are not saying no, but let them know that gender-based violence is there. They must learn the science and they must know how to handle it. And they cannot handle it alone. Let's come together. The healthcare workers, social workers, nurses, doctors, everyone, and face this monster.
Thank you so much, Professor Salaminah Moloko. Let us come together as communities, and that's why today we saw that presentations that were done, some of the stakeholders, that includes DENOSA, that includes SAPS, that includes the Department of Social Development, to talk about the impact of GBV in our different societies. But the core message that has been sent by different people that were speaking and giving speeches was that no to gender-based violence. It was a short program, as you are seeing behind me. It has now been concluded.
Refiloe Seboko, thank you very much for that update live for us in the Northwest Province there. Very important campaign being undertaken ahead of the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children.